Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. It's another day of match watch-alongs on That's Football for the World Cup, and we've got Brazil versus Costa Rica coming up for you. So can Brazil get their World Cup up and running? We're going to be talking about Messi, I'm sure, at some point during the streams today. We've got 3 games to talk about. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity to do that. But of most interest, is Neymar going to go the way of Ronaldo or the way of Messi in this World Cup? Is he going to perform or is he going to fail? And it's a big game for Brazil today because drawing at the weekend with Switzerland, they've got to get a win on the board today against Costa Rica. And they'll be firm favourites to do that. As you can see, the team news is going on the bottom there. No great shakes from Brazil. Neymar does play. There was a little bit about concern about whether he'd be injured or not, but no, he plays, and the team is completed by the likes of Alisson in goal, Wagner, Thiago Silva, Miranda, Marcelo, Paulinho, don't know how he gets in, Casemiro, Coutinho, Willian, Gabriel Jesus, and Neymar. So Marquinhos doesn't start, Douglas Costa, Felipe Luis, Fernandinho, Fred, Firmino. They've got some really good players on the bench, effectively, Brazil, but they've gone pretty much with the team of last week. Keylor Navas in goal for Costa Rica, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, keeping it interesting, keeping it real. Salim Hussein says, come on, Costa Rica. Lucas says, you look smart today. I've got my glasses on because I'm feeling a little bit tired, and I have got, I don't know whether I can show you, actually. Let's see if I can show you. No. I can't go that low down. I have got a pair of shorts on because it's not as hot as I thought it was going to be today, but the next 2 weeks are going to be very nice in the UK. Come on, Fred the Red, says Damien Gayson. I don't know whether we're going to get to see him today. I hope we get to see him, says Ed Woodward. I don't know whether we will, and I'd like to see him. I think he offers Brazil's midfield. So I don't rate Paulinho for Brazil at all. I think he's rubbish. I really do. I thought he was rubbish at Spurs, and I think he's not that good at Barcelona either, but he gets picked for Brazil. I don't think he's that good. There you go. Fred's not starting Pankaj. Jay Coulters, have you seen the news that Manchester United have been linked to Ndombele today? I have, Jay. I'd be very, very pleased if United signed him. I know Spurs are after him, but let's see how that develops during the day. I'll probably talk about that on the United stand a little bit later. And please do drop a like on the video. Please do share the video and get involved. We are pretty much ready for this game, although I'm a little bit early, which is nice. It's nice to be a little bit early, I suppose, on this Friday. We've only got 2 more 1 o'clock kickoffs to come. It's sad. I'm going to be really sad that when the 1 o'clock kickoffs go. They've been some of the best ones. It's been nice, especially on. I think the weekday ones have been really nice because we've had people are at work and stuff. I probably have things to do. I choose to have an extended lunch break, which has been nice for the last couple of weeks. But I'll miss the 1 o'clock kickoffs. I've got to be honest with you. And 2 more to go. Like I said, the last one is a big one. It's Brazil. It's not Brazil. It's England versus Panama on Sunday lunchtime. And then we're into the third group games. And then we're going to start getting into the knockout stages. And then the World Cup's going to be pretty much moved and over. Still plenty of time to go. We don't want to be negative about that. But what I'd say is enjoy the World Cup. Enjoy the World Cup because it won't be here for long, and I don't think the next one's going to be that good. I've got to be honest with you, I don't think that the next World Cup is going to be that good in Qatar. There we go. So, how are we doing, everybody? I hope you're all doing very, very well. Give us your score predictions in this game. I think surely, absolutely surely, we're going to see a situation where the Brazilians turn up and get the result today. They have to get the result today. And I'm just sharing the link at the moment. Costa Rica. I think we're going to get a good day today. Because I think yesterday didn't quite deliver what we wanted in the first 2 games. We got it in the evening, though. Croatia, wow. Well, I say wow. It wasn't Croatia wow, really, was it? It was Croatia doing what I said at lunchtime. I felt that they were the favourites in that game. And boy, oh boy, did they deliver. I wouldn't have predicted 3-0, but I've said this a few times now, and I've seen a few people saying it today as well, that if you thought Argentina were going to be one of the favourites for this tournament, then you clearly didn't know much about Argentina coming into this tournament. They scraped it. Through the qualifiers. They're not a very, very good team. But that game's going to be very interesting later on today. The 4 o'clock kickoff. Nigeria versus Iceland. They've got a massive opportunity now to get through that group. They've got to take that opportunity. I think Nigeria might get a result today, and if they do, then that makes Nigeria absolutely massive. And Argentina aren't out yet. They're not out yet. If they can win their last game, then they could go through. But what's likely to happen is they're going to probably have to play France, which would be very, very interesting. And Sander Sager says he wants 38,000 subscribers by the end of the day. Whoa, he drives a hard bargain. We'll have to get the views up. They dropped yesterday. I think people lost interest in the World Cup a little bit yesterday. So I hope people aren't going to lose the World Cup interest today. I hope you're all going to get involved and have your say. It's going to be a good day, I think. And I'm looking forward to Serbia tonight. Milinkovic-Savic watch. Nigeria-Iceland. I think that game is probably... Well, we can talk about it when Xander's live a little bit later. But it's... who do you go for in that game? Do you go for Iceland or do you go for Nigeria? They're both very likeable teams, and I don't know. I think part of me wants Iceland to win, but I do like Nigeria as well. It's difficult. It's so difficult. I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to turn. It's ridiculous. But we've got this group to deal with first. Brazil playing a little bit of catch up. Brazil are playing a little bit of a catch-up here because Serbia beat Costa Rica 2-0. So Brazil will be looking to better that score. Then Switzerland against Serbia tonight was a draw for Brazil and Switzerland. So if Serbia were to beat Switzerland tonight, it puts them in an advantageous position. The winners of this group will play the runners-up of Germany-Mexico's group. So that's going to be an absolute humdinger, isn't it? Absolute humdinger. We've got, okay, so I've got my score predictions for this game, which I'll tell you when the game kicks off. We're singing for England, England. Not till Sunday lunchtime. And hopefully I will be doing the watch along for that one. You never know. But hopefully I will be doing that. Okay. How are we all doing? The anthem gives the World Cup a vibe, says Salim Hussein. Have a feeling Brazil are going to bottle it, says Andrew Rossi. And it'll be 0-0 Nigeria v Iceland, says Ed Woodward, which also will give them an opportunity to... Serbia beat Costa Rica 1-0, says Kahir. Of course they did. Thank you very much for that. What's been my favourite goal in the World Cup so far? Says Lucas Estevez. Mine is still the free kick of Ronaldo's because it meant so much in that game. I've just read Xander's comment and he's wrong again. Xander, according to my book, you have got... Well, I'm definitely doing Poland versus Colombia, so that'll have to be a joint one because... There's no way I'm giving that up. You were right. You have got Poland versus Colombia, but I'll be doing that for definite. Mark, can you please speak like a Scouser? No, says Benny Huth. And hey, Mark from Sri Lanka, says Cajun. And another day, South American teams don't look good at this tournament, says Nigel Jones. We do need a South American team to deliver. You're right. We do need a South American team to deliver. They're not delivering in this tournament at the moment. Unless I forget, well, Uruguay, obviously, they're going to get through, but they've not had a great tournament themselves, have they? And we've got... who else have we got? Uruguay, Peru have gone home, which I find stunning, really, that they've gone home. Poor old Peru. Peru have gone home. Brazil, we've seen. Argentina look like they're going home. It's tough for them. But maybe they'll produce something today, Brazil, and get that World Cup going. I mean, Colombia, as Xander was saying there, Colombia is a team that I hope can do quite well in this tournament, but they didn't do well against Japan. But they did go down to 10 men in the first 5 minutes, so maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. But they were, to be fair, as much as I want Colombia to do well, I felt that the way they moved the ball around was not the best. Okay, we're nearly at kick-off. I say nearly. I've got to get my timer open. Timer. There we go. So, we're very close to kick off in this game. There's my stream, which is great. And there we go. Right, let's settle down, everybody. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready. Well, no, that's be too old for you lot. England can make it to the quarterfinals, says Najib. Football's coming home, says Kieran. I thought Perisic was class last night, says James Dudley. Yeah, it's a shame he didn't come to United. And yeah, I'm wearing my glasses today because I'm feeling a little bit, my eyes are feeling a little bit tired. And obviously I've got 4 streams to do today. No, 3 streams, obviously. Got the United stand as well. The World Cup is full of shocks. Let's be honest, there's no clear favourites in this World Cup, says Baron Death. I still think that there is, Baron. I think that Spain need to go out of this tournament for it to be wide open. Spain and Germany disappear from this tournament and it's wide open. They are still... You can have all the outsiders you want, but while Spain and Germany are in this tournament, I still believe that that's where it's going to end. And if you want somebody to win this World Cup who's not won it before, then whatever you think about Spain and Germany, they need to go out. I don't think Brazil, from what I've seen from them, will win this tournament. I think they'll do well, but I've always felt that Brazil are a bit of a dark horse anyway because they're coming from such a position of humiliation in 2014 when they hosted the Cup and got annihilated by Germany. I think Brazil can be beaten. I think Brazil will do well and they can win it, but I don't think they're as strong as a Spain or Germany if they get into their groove. The same with France. I can't see France winning it. But Croatia are having a good World Cup, says Joel Morris. I'd love to see Croatia win it. And Jack Blackwell got them out of the hat. He got Brazil. Let's see how Costa Rica do, though, anyway, because Costa Rica get sort of lumped in with... We're off. Costa Rica get lumped in with the likes of Saudi Arabia and that. But Costa Rica got through the last World Cup group with Italy, England and Uruguay. So they're not a bad side. Moses, thank you. He says Mexico and South Korea will be a good one to watch. Yeah, can't wait for that. 4 o'clock tomorrow. I'm doing all 3 games tomorrow because Xander's busy with his girlfriend. So I'm doing all 3 tomorrow. In fact, I'm doing 5 of the 6 games this weekend. So, yeah, I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. But I'm doing all 3 games tomorrow. And... that's great. That's good for me because I get to do Belgium at 1 o'clock, which I think against Tunisia should be quite good to get a look at Belgium. Mexico, South Korea at 4 o'clock, and then Germany, Sweden at 7 o'clock. So good games there. Some good games this weekend, and then we're into the final group stages. And then I think one or two of those games might be a bit odd. I'll have to have a look at those. But at some point, I want to do a video where we look at the group predictions as to who's going to go through where, because the predictions we had at the start of the tournament will have changed and different teams will be playing different teams. Hallam's going to be getting busy with his girlfriend too. Ben Bowley, how far do you think Portugal will go this World Cup, says Ben Bailey? I think Portugal could go... I don't know. I think Portugal will be in the quarterfinals, and I don't know the paths. We've got to look at the paths, haven't we, and see who plays who, and get something up on screen. Xandra might do that tomorrow. Who are you doing? England, Alan Tomlinson. Yes, I am. I will be doing the England game. No alcohol today, says Palash. It is only 1 o'clock in the UK, and I have to, after the 1 o'clock games, I have to go and pick up the kids from school, so I ain't going stinking of booze. But I fancy if the weather stays good, I might have a gin and tonic, a rhubarb and ginger gin that we've got with a bit of tonic and ice would be nice tonight. Timer has started. I just haven't put it up on the screen. Sorry about that. So thanks everybody who's letting me know, because I do need telling. There we go. We're 2 minutes in. Who's single and enjoying the football, says Jack Nolan. Hi Mark, how far will Serbia go this tournament, says Aki. Let's see how well Serbia do tonight against Switzerland. They did only beat Costa Rica 1-0, and it was because of a free kick. So I think Croatia and Serbia can be quite similar. But Serbia do need to turn it on a little bit tonight, and Switzerland were very, very organised against Brazil. So let's see how Serbia-Switzerland tonight. I think it's going to be very interesting. Looking forward to watching Milinkovic-Savic again. I can dream, while he's still a Lazio player, I can dream that he could come to United, can't I? But this game has started as we thought it might do, with Brazil on the attack. I'm actually no Liverpool fan because I support United. Coutinho there shooting from range, could have had his second goal of the tournament, over the bar. But Brazil not in their traditional yellow, they're in their sort of turquoisey blue. Costa Rica playing in white. Another day and another set of teams not playing in their home kits, both playing in their away kits. Realistically, we should have seen red v yellow again, like we should have seen it yesterday. But what game was that yesterday that we should have seen that with, red v yellow? Would have been Denmark, Australia, wouldn't it? And we didn't, and we haven't seen it here today, which is a bit of a shame. You want to see the traditional, don't you? Fred's in the squad, hell no, but I don't know whether he's going to be fit enough to get on the pitch. Mark Atherton, I'm very well, pal. How are you? Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we are going to try and get 37,500 subscribers today, which would be a nice round number. So subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're doing a watch along for every World Cup game. We're over a week in now. How many games have we done altogether? And I don't even know, we won't be halfway through yet, will we? I don't think. And please share the video if you have subscribed. Just under the video, if you just share it, that would be great. Get involved. Grow the numbers, grow the channel, grow the audience, grow the community. Everybody's welcome on That's Football, doesn't matter where you live or where you're from. Nice little ball there from Costa Rica, but good defending. They're going to try and hit them on the break. And as I said before, Costa Rica, they're not a pushover. They won't be the favourites in this by a long way. Brazil should win this. Brazil should be winning any game against Costa Rica. But Costa Rica are not a terrible team. You know, they're not like Iran. They're not like Saudi Arabia. They can play football, and they don't normally get battered either. They're not the sort of team that gets beat 3 or 4-0. Watch them go and get beat 3 or 4-0 now. Someone you don't know, yes, Neymar is playing. In fact, he's just picked up the ball there. See, Costa Rica there on the break. I mean, they're not on the break because Brazil have got men back, but their movement and their passing ability is good. Will they be another team, though, that everything's good, but their final ball and finishing is bad? We've seen that throughout this tournament, haven't we? I mean, Peru were the kings of that. Really good team, awful in the box. Shot from Costa Rica way over the bar. So we've had 2 shots so far. One for Brazil, one for Costa Rica. Both massively over the bar. Akash, I've seen your second message. Oh, okay. I was looking in the live comments. I saw Ben say something about Misty. So Akash says his 6 weeks dog just passed away. Can she get a shout out? Her name is Misty. Oh, she was only 6 weeks old. She was only 6 weeks old. That's horrible. Yeah, rest in peace, Misty. That's not nice, especially if you're a dog lover. Very sad news, Akash. All the best, mate. I think Nigeria will win today, Yellow Baba. Yeah, I think they will win. I think they're both very likeable teams. Iceland, Nigeria, they're both very likeable teams. And obviously they have now got this brilliant situation where if one of them win that game, they've got a great chance of going through. There you go, Akash. Look at all the live comments. Lots of people sending you love and all that. Danny Alves is injured, Pankaj. He's not in the World Cup squad. Cal Davies 14. Do I think Fred will get on in the second half? I don't know. I mean, it just depends about his injury, doesn't it? I'd love to see him come on because obviously... Brazil on the attack here. Free kick for Brazil on the edge of the box. Mohammed Usman, I've just checked, then you're lying. So don't come on our live streams and lie. Andrew Rossi says Willian is playing well. Curtis 15. I'm quite relaxed about Marcus Rashford. I don't mind if he's on the bench again. It's only the second game. It's only Panama. This is the trouble with England. Look at what France are doing. Look at they're growing into the tournament. Spain as well. Don't play all your cards at once. If we're planning on doing well in this tournament, then let's not play Rashford against Panama. Let's keep him on the bench and wait a little bit. Grow into the tournament. Don't need to play all our cards at once. Veli Southwood says 100% Iceland for the win. Come on, you Vikings. It's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, I don't mind discussing this early on, I suppose, because the day could develop. You never know what events we're going to get happening today, and that's the great thing. If you are watching the watch along, we always get debatable points that we can all debate about. Look, it doesn't matter if you disagree with people in the live comments. In some ways, that's what football is all about. That's football, isn't it? So, but let's have a little bit of a chat about Messi in the context of Neymar, though, because already I think, and to be fair to Neymar, you know what? He doesn't always have a good game, but he clearly wears the Brazilian shirt with passion and pride, and he's up for it, and he wants to do well. And Brazil are a massive football nation, and all their players want to do well for their country. It's massively, massively important. But then I get confused because Argentina love football as well. And I don't know what's gone wrong here. Casemiro's just stopped the game and he's running off the pitch. He's got a nosebleed. He's got a nosebleed. He'll be alright. But that Argentina side, if you were Argentinian, you'd be disgusted. The success and great players you've had over the years. And then to see players like that just not bother. And also to have the best player in your world. I mean, I don't know loads about Messi because I'm a Ronaldo fan. And I think, Messi's a great, great, great player. And he will go down as one of the greats. But correct me if I'm wrong about Messi. I think he went to Spain very young. And I don't know what his attachment to Argentina is. Does he go to Argentina in the closed season? Or has he become European and more Spanish and Barcelona? I don't know, but there's something missing with Messi. And you can't say, how can he fall out with Argentina and not like playing for Argentina? But when everything's based around him. I mean, you could say that their manager made that mistake. He built the team around Messi, and Messi didn't look interested. So it's not like he's been mistreated. He just doesn't look interested. So the ball hit Casemiro in the face. That's why he got a nosebleed, but he'll be back on in a minute. It's just baffling that a player of Messi's quality can consistently underperform in an Argentinian shirt. Costa Rica on the attack here. Cut back. Oh, he should score. He should score. The cutback's there. He gets onto it and he passes it wide. That's a bit of a let-off for Brazil. As Eric says, Eric Steinswood said it was close and it was a let-off. Good play from Costa Rica. Cuts it back to the edge of the box. He's got to put it on target. It's in his stride. If he gets that on target, it's 1-0. Who was it? Borges for Costa Rica. Good cutback. Forced him on the edge of the box. It's in his stride and he puts it wide. And that rhymes. But he should have scored. Should be 1-0 to Costa Rica. But they're good. And this plays into Costa Rica's hands on the break, doesn't it? Also plays into, if you want to see Fred's hands, because I think that the Brazil midfield is a bit crap, to be honest. Crap's the wrong word. It's lacking something. Casemiro does a job. But I'm not a massive fan of Paulinho. I don't think he gives you enough. I think the team's a bit disjointed, to be honest. I think Jesus, Willian and Neymar as your front three. Drop one of them and play Firmino. Probably drop Jesus, put Firmino and have Neymar and Willian either side of him. And then your midfield three, have Casemiro, Fred and Coutinho. You've got a better balance. Don't know why Messi came back for Argentina. His heart and belief isn't in it, says Lynn Hall. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Flash of Thunder says Messi can only play in a Barcelona system. You know what, though? Messi's such a good... I don't agree with that. I like winding people up and joking about it because it's good. Because I think, you know, I like Ronaldo, but I'm not a Ronaldo fanboy. I just like Ronaldo. I'm not a fanboy. But Messi, people who like Messi, they're like little bloody fanboys and girls. They don't listen to reason. And Costa Rica on the attack again here. But Brazil will clear it now. But no, when it comes to Messi and this, he can only play in a Barcelona shirt, he should be able to play left back for MK Dons. He is one of the world's best ever players. He should be able to play anywhere. I think it's going to be a yellow card here because I don't think he should get a yellow card actually. The trouble with Neymar, that's gone into his back. No, he's all right. Dun 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 dun. Costa Rica's killing Brazil, says Kwesi Brown. They're doing very well at the moment. Brazil not doing... As I said, I think Brazil's problem is a little bit like Argentina's problem, but not as bad because they've got more pride and passion, is that I think their team's just a little bit imbalanced. I think Firmino will make them better because he gives them some physicality up front. Prince says that Casemiro, Paulinho, Coutinho is the best midfield. This whole Fred thing is a joke. Look, Prince, I'm not saying that Fred should start just because he plays for Manchester United. I'd like to see Fred play because he now plays for Manchester United. But what I will say, and I'll disagree with you with, that Paulinho, Coutinho and Casemiro is not a good midfield that's going to win the World Cup. It's missing something. It's missing a proper box-to-box player. Because Casemiro will do the donkey work. But Coutinho is the flair player. And Paulinho, I just don't get it. I don't get it with him. Niroff says Brazil definitely need Firmino on. I'm surprised they didn't play him today. Mark Moon says, is it me or are all the underdogs challenging the bigger teams? There doesn't seem to be a huge gap anymore between teams, which is a good thing. I agree, Mark, and that's why I predicted that before the World Cup, and a lot of people did as well. I don't think there are, apart from maybe Iran and Saudi Arabia, there aren't really many teams now that are just there to be, either park the bus or get stuffed. Everybody else, the gap is closing. You've got one or two players in most teams who are playing good level football now, and the gap is definitely closing. And as we've seen with Costa Rica, as we've seen with Peru, we even saw it with Iran. Organisational and passing ability isn't that bad. Where they fall down is in the final third. Neymar with another free kick. Don't think it was a free kick, to be honest. Toby the Greatest with the most difficult question to answer in the world at the moment. Who will win the World Cup? Toby, I don't know. Navas comes and gets the cross anyway. Vishnu, do I rate Paulinho as a plan B? I wouldn't have him as a plan A, so yeah, plan B will do me. Mark J. I can't even read that out, but you did make me laugh. We don't want none of that. Manan says Messi needs good midfielders to play well. Well, I tell you what, Argentina's midfield is atrocious. I mean, you know it's bad when Mascherano's playing in there. I mean, he hasn't been a midfielder for about 6 years, has he? And again, I don't know why Banega didn't get used. I know they used him in the first game. I thought he did well when he came on against Iceland, but I don't know why they didn't play him. Yesterday. Big Bailey likes Paulinho. He was crap at Spurs. And as we've seen with Messi, just because he's good for Barcelona, that doesn't mean anything, does it? Andrew Ked says he thinks the last four in the World Cup will be Portugal, England, Croatia and Belgium. Well, I'd buy a ticket to that. I'd love that because you've got three teams that have never won it before in England. So I'd be very happy with that. Mario Fennick says this is a worse Brazil side than 2014. Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? I tell you what, from what I've seen of Brazil so far, I think they're going to have to improve massively to win this tournament because somebody like Croatia would beat them. And that's where teams like Croatia, maybe even a Serbia, and a Mexico have a massive advantage. Because if you are a team and you're organised and you're playing for each other and you've got talent as well, I don't think France are doing that at the moment. I don't see Brazil doing that. Obviously, Argentina aren't doing it. So you've got a good chance of going deep into this tournament. I'll tell you one thing that doesn't work in the modern game anymore, though. You can't just have one star player and win tournaments. You can't. Football's moved on from that, for sure. Look at Argentina with Messi. Neymar, everything's going through him. You've got to play as a team. Yeah, you might have one of the best players in the world, but you've still got to play football as a team. It's not an individual game. It's a team game. And look at Ronaldo. I said this last week. Ronaldo, yeah, arguably the best player in the world. But they don't play as an individual. All right, he's got all 4 goals and his brilliance has got them 4 goals. But not everything goes through Ronaldo. They play as a team, and that's really important. It's really important. And look at Croatia. They play as a team. Gabriel Jesus has just took a foul there. It's hard to tell if Brazil are being fouled. That was a foul. Because they do like to take a tumble, Brazil, as well. Luca says, is it over for Australia? I think so, because I think France and Denmark would play out a draw. And I think Peru will beat Australia, won't they? I mean, that's probably a harder game than Denmark for Australia. Australia needed to go for it in the last 20 minutes against Denmark, and I don't really know why they didn't. They seemed to... I remember with like 5 minutes to go, there was an opportunity to hit it long into the box, and they passed it back to their goalkeeper, and I thought, they're settling for a draw here, and I don't know why. Per Cruz says, I think that Croatia are the strongest team yet. Yeah, it doesn't mean a lot being... Well, it means you're going through to the groups, out of the group stage, which is important, but being the best team after 2 games doesn't mean you're going to win the World Cup. You want to be the best team after 7 games. King Zed says, I don't want Willian. He's overrated, inconsistent. I would be gutted if we signed him. Martial is already 10 times a better player and 8 years younger. Here's Jesus on the break. And good defending by Costa Rica. But Costa Rica, at this moment in time, are very, very comfortable. Very comfortable indeed. Kwesi Brown says that Hayes is holding up play is hurting Brazil and missing Dani Alves as well. Yeah, well, Dani Alves was always going to be a big miss. I know he's well into his 30s now, but he's a brilliant, brilliant player, and it provides that balance, doesn't it? Marcelo down the left, Alves down the right. He's a big, big loss. But the Firmino thing and the Jesus thing, they can control that. Croatia versus Mexico in the final, says Ed Woodward. Imagine that. I tell you what, I'm imagining that. It's just glorious. I'd love it. But Mexico tomorrow, you know what? Let's not all get obsessed about Mexico. I said Mexico could do well in this tournament, and I said Hirving Lozano could be the breakout player of this tournament. But you know what? I'm going into that Mexico game against South Korea tomorrow with my eyes open, because Mexico are favourites in that game. So, all right, being underdogs against Germany, that's got to be offside. Yeah, he's offside. Was it Hayes has scored? Shot came in. He controls it on the penalty spot, but he looks offside as he blasts it in. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to Mexico, South Korea tomorrow, because this is a big test for Mexico. Can they do it when they're the favourites? And South Korea weren't terrible against Sweden. Sweden win that game? South Korea. I think they did, didn't they? Yeah, they won it 1-0. Naomi Walsh says, Mexico are brilliant on the counter-attack. Stop that and you stop them. Yeah, I don't know though, Naomi. That's why I'm interested to see this game tomorrow, because I think against Germany they had to play on the counter-attack, didn't they? And that's why the South Korea game's so interesting, because against South Korea, they'll be on the front foot a lot. So will we see... You've got someone like Hernandez there. If they're putting decent quality into the box, I think we might see a different side to Mexico. Malan says, I really don't rate Gabriel Jesus. His movements in the box is the only decent thing, and all he does is score tap-ins. Yeah, well, it works well for him at Man City, doesn't it? Because that they afford him that opportunity. Brazil are pushing it a little bit at the moment. Remember, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're doing a watch along for every World Cup game. We're building a brilliant community on here. Lots of great debate going on. 3 games for you today. Iceland versus Nigeria at 4 o'clock. And then Milenkovic, Savic and Matic. The new United midfield. I'm joking, it won't be. We've got Matic anyway. Play Switzerland tonight. Big game that is, because if Serbia win that, they've got 6 points. And that's Brazil's group. So, yeah, really, really excited to see that game tonight. And Nigeria, Iceland, and this one as well. It's, you know, let's not look ahead yet. This is nicely, evenly poised. Look at that beautiful sunshine in Russia as well. They're delivering with this World Cup, aren't they? They are delivering. It's everything you want a World Cup to be. I thought Wednesday was the worst day of the World Cup, where we had all the big teams beating the little teams. Yesterday started off a bit meh. Finished brilliant with Croatia against Argentina. And then today, tomorrow and Sunday, I think we've got 3 great days coming up in the World Cup. England on Sunday. Tomorrow we've got Mexico, we've got Belgium, we've got Germany. A decent shot there from Coutinho. Similar position to his goal against Switzerland, but it goes over the bar. If Costa Rica keep this up, they look competitive, don't they? They look competitive. And again, it's not a surprise. I don't know why would people be surprised. Raheem Rule, do you think France can't win the World Cup? I think France can win the World Cup because of the quality they've got, but they got played off the park by Peru yesterday, and I just think if France don't improve big time, when they come up against a better team who do know what they're doing in the final third, I mean, I think Germany have been written off too quick. I hate to say this for the Swedes, because I can't tell you what, I'm looking forward to that game tomorrow night, Germany-Sweden, because I support Manchester United, and United at the moment are linked to a lot of centre-backs. But I think Victor Lindelof's a good centre-back, and I tell you what, tomorrow, he's probably going to have his biggest game of the last 4 years, because he is Sweden's best centre-back, and he's going to be very, very busy against Germany. That should have been a foul on Costa Rica there. Well, at least they didn't give the other foul on Brazil. On Neymar. Fair play, ref. France have got a crap manager. Negva Trest, I agree. We are doing watch-alongs for all games on the World Cup. So, yeah, we've got Iceland versus Nigeria. Slip him in. Here's Neymar. First goal coming up. He's in the box. Oh, brilliant defending that. Neymar cut back, chipped it to the back post towards Jesus, and the Costa Rican player heads it away, but there's actually been given an offside. Good play by Neymar, but the defence here is like, I will not give in, and wins the header. Well done. But I think they've had an offside given against Jesus anyway. Yes, they have. Ryan, I don't understand how Jesus is offside there either, to be honest. little bit bitty this game. Brazil should thrash Costa Rica about 6-0. They're not putting enough effort in, says Gary Wells. I know you're going to get a lot of contrary comments to that, Gary, but what I would say is that Brazil could beat anybody 6-0. Of course they could, but I don't think the gaps between these lesser teams and the big teams are that big anymore. I really don't. The coaching that they get and the organisation that they get, the gap is closing every time, which I think that's one of the great things about this World Cup is that with every 4 years, we see the gap close and close and close. Closer and closer and closer. And I don't know whether this World Cup's going to come too soon, but very soon we're going to see a team win the World Cup that hasn't won it before. And that can only be good for football. Bahani says that Brazil looks solid. I'd argue that they should be 1-0 down. That chance that they had, Costa Rica, about 20 minutes ago, is the best chance of the game. And he passed it wide. Vandy Candy says Neymar does get fouled a lot. He does get fouled a lot. And it's weird because he gets fouled way more than Messi and Ronaldo. Maybe he leads to Willian over the bar. Maybe leads to learn to ride a tackle a little bit better. Jack Jones says Neymar looks rusty. Well, he is coming back from an injury as well, isn't he? Hazard better than Neymar, says Tom Austin. I think 90% of the world will disagree with you, Tom. I don't get the Hazard hype anyway. I think he had a crap season for Chelsea again. He seems to have one good year, then has a year off. Like when they won the title, he was brilliant. The year before, when Mourinho got the sack, he was rubbish. This year, he's not been very good. Maybe next season he'll be good again. Archie says that Neymar's the most foul player in the World Cup ever. Anthony Martial says they need Firmino on. I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't pick Firmino. Really surprised they didn't pick Firmino because they're suffering in this first half from the same problems they had against Switzerland where they've got no hold-up play in the final third. Miles Butterworth says, remember when everyone was saying that Gabriel Jesus was the next big wonder kid? Don't get me wrong, he's good, but he's not amazing. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a wonder kid, is he? He's just a good player. Fred's on the bench, Aaron Cunningham. I don't know whether he's fit enough to be used or not. I certainly think if he'd have been fit against Switzerland, he would have played. Oh, good play here from Costa Rica. And then it goes out. Jay Hart says it's going to be 35 degrees when Mexico play tomorrow. Where are they playing then, Jay? Qatar? Is it a one-off exhibition? Ed Woodward, I said that yesterday. He says Lozano's probably going to be the Rodriguez of this tournament. I agree. And will it then mean he goes to Real Madrid? I mean, I think that's that shows a little bit of Galactico behaviour if Real Madrid went and bought Lozano just off a good World Cup. I mean, he has only been playing at PSV, so... Oh, that could have been a chance. Has Willian kept it in? No. Yeah. No. No, it didn't. Toby the Greatest says, who's better, Alexis Sanchez or Eden Hazard? Eden Hazard. JME says it's great that the underrated teams are doing well. It's making it more interesting. Oh yeah, I agree. From a spectator point of view, this is great because if Brazil were 2-0 up by now, you'd be like, well, this game's over, wouldn't you? So the closer the games are, the better. As long as they're not boring. Bahani's named his 3 standout players of the tournament so far: Ronaldo, Modric, and Kante. Kante is a good player, isn't he? That's not going to stay in, is it? Anthony Martial says, who's better, Rashford or Jesus? Oh, you still got to say Jesus because Rashford had a crap season last year. Potentially, Rashford can be better, but he's got to fulfil that potential. Based on, at the moment, Jesus is still a better player, you know. Malaki says, do you think Manchester United will win the league next season? No. And I'm a Manchester United fan. So, no. At the moment, no. In a month's time, if we go and do some really good business and sell some of the rubbish that we've got, maybe I'll change my mind a little bit. But at the moment, no, we're not going to win the title next year. Kingdom FX, I agree. I said this last night. He says Serbia's a good team, but they don't have a number 9. I'm wondering if we're going to get a VAR moment here. Costa Rica on the attack. He's a million miles offside. No, we're not getting VAR. There was a bit of a tangle in the box for Brazil. Tom, I'm like you, Tom Austin. I was waiting as that game was going on for the ref to suddenly stop and go like that with the VAR. We've not seen the replay yet, and we're not getting a VAR. Dr. Darth says, how do you think the Premier League ranks in the world leagues at the moment? Well, I think it's the second best league in the world. And it could become... It's difficult because La Liga, they've got the Europa League winners with Atletico Madrid. They've got the... Let's have a look at this. Paulinho again, diving. No way that's a penalty. Yeah, I think the competitive element of the Premier League makes it the best league in the world to watch, but you can't argue with the fact that La Liga is the best league in the world because it's got the best teams in the world at the moment. And the Premier League teams need to start winning the Champions League if they want to have the best league in the world. Hazard is very far from being the best player in the world pro at FIFA. I wouldn't even put him in the top 8. Quezzy Brown wants to see Douglas Costa on. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Douglas Costa. Has he signed the contract at Juventus yet? Because he's on a loan there, isn't he, from Bayern Munich? And I don't know whether Juventus have taken up the option of signing him yet. Marcelo shoots. Navas holds. 40 minutes gone. Jazzy Now's right. Every time there's a penalty shout, everyone holds their breath for 20 seconds. It's true. You do have to wait a little bit, don't you? Still don't understand why VAR didn't do anything with Harry Kane's. All right, the ref might have missed it at the time, but... Carmichael, I'm sure Paulinho has had a touch, but I know what you mean. He's been very poor in these 2 games. Prince says, you haven't got Eden Hazard in your top 8. Please mention your top 8. Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, David De Gea, that's 4. Suarez, 5. Costa Rica are in here. Oh, good defending from Thiago Silva. So we're up to 5, aren't we? Suarez, De Gea, Neymar, yeah, Ronaldo, Messi. That's 5. Gareth Bale's better than Hazard, 6. Griezmann's better than Hazard, 7. Oof, Brazil on the attack there. I think he's going to shoot. Oh, he's overhit it. Aguero's better than Hazard, 8. Salah's better than Hazard, 9. He's falling places here. So, yeah. De Bruyne is better than Hazard, 10. So, there's loads, isn't there? There's loads. He's not even in the top 10 now. You shouldn't have asked. I had him in the top 10. But now when I actually think about it, he's not even in the top 10. In my opinion. In my opinion, of course. Manuel Neuer, yeah, Disease Gaming. To be honest with you, Griezmann probably should be further out. I was just further down. I was just naming players, but Salah and De Bruyne are better than Griezmann. Yeah, I'd move Griezmann further down. Griezmann would probably be 10th in my mind. Ed Woodward says Dybala's better than Aguero. I'm a big fan of Aguero, Ed. I think, look, I know he plays for Man City and that, but as you've also, we're putting a goalkeeper in there, aren't we? So comparing a goalkeeper to someone like a Dybala is difficult. But as a striker, I just think Aguero has been and is one of the best players in the world. And let's not forget Fellaini, says Mini Diver, yeah. So we're approaching half-time in this game, and yet again, Brazil flatter to deceive, don't they? They've not been very good in the final third again. I mentioned it very early on. I don't think that they've got the balance in their midfield with Paulinho, and I think they need Firmino as well. They need to change things up a bit. Evil127 says Neymar isn't setting the world on fire. No, he's certainly not. He's certainly not. Sebastian, you're right. Sebastian Douglas, you're right. Lukaku's better than Aubameyang, and I've always liked Aubameyang, but when you look at what Aubameyang's done, obviously he can't really do much at international level. But Aubameyang needs to bang a few goals in the Premier League before he gets anywhere near Lukaku's sentence. At this moment in time, Lukaku is up there with, I'd say, the top 5 number 9s in world football. With Harry Kane, their consistency between Kane and Lukaku over the last 3 or 4 years has just been ridiculously good. And again, Michael Richards is right. Modric and Kroos have got to be ahead of Hazard as well. Yeah. Let's start talking defenders as well. Ramos and Varane. They're better than Hazard. Neymar's not match fit, says Darren Sweetman. Don't play him then. Don't play him. That's what I think. They need to improve this. South Americans look lost in this World Cup, says Keith K. Yeah, none of them are doing well, are they? None of them are doing well, and there's no reason for that. There's no reason for that. I mean, it's a game of football, and it's hot. It's really hot in Russia. Maybe the quality of South American football has dropped. It's interesting, isn't it? I'm going to tweet that out off the United stand because I'm in control of it at the moment. RC double up ahead. Anyway, let me just turn my timer off. Yeah, very good question that came in there. Talking about Uruguay's in South America, says Kieran Brook. But yeah, let's address that first of all. Half time, 0-0. Disappointing yet again from Brazil. They do need to bring Firmino on up front, who will give them a bit of European quality and also a proper number 9 quality. And I think Paulinho needs to be taken off. He just doesn't help that midfield three at all. It's not doing anything. But the bigger question is, I think there's a lot more endeavour and a lot more fight in the Brazilian team than we saw in Argentina last night, but it's still missing. We are playing this World Cup in a very, very warm climate. There's no excuse about that. But all the South American teams are struggling massively in this World Cup. Why is that? Kieran Brooks says, well, Uruguay are doing okay, but Uruguay are in a crap group. Egypt, Saudi Arabia and Russia. It's not much of a challenge, and they've only won 1-0 twice. Brazil drew with Switzerland. They're drawing with Costa Rica. Argentina lost last night to Croatia comfortably. Couldn't beat Iceland. Peru, good footballing team. Nothing in the final third. No goals. No points after 2 games. They're going home. Colombia losing to Japan. Yes, they were down to 10 men, but the movement of the ball wasn't good enough. Is there a general problem with South American football? Is South American football on the decline? Because there is no great there's not even a half decent South American representative in this World Cup at the moment. It can't be to do with climate. It can't be to do with altitude. It has to be to do with ability, when every single one of them are not performing at the moment. So South American football, is this the big question? Is this what's going on in relation to world football? The lesser teams are catching up with the established teams at such a rate that a whole continent now is struggling. South America, traditionally the samba beats, the passion, the desire, it ain't working at the moment. What's going wrong with South American football? Because it looks slow. It looks lethargic. It looks clueless. Tactics are wrong, says Jeremy. It's jet lag, says Cater, and Fabino apologist says. Brazil are terrible, says Barry Storen. I'd be interested to hear your current World 11, says Jay Coulters. Well, maybe we can do that in the second half if there's time. And Mexico are not South American, Cheech, 420. You're North American, aren't you? But they're close. South America's getting worse. We just signed Fred, says Amshar. Oh, no, I'm not talking about individual players. Messi's the best player in the world with Ronaldo. He's South American. Neymar's in the top 3. He's South American. The talent's still there, but have they got 11 players now to dominate the world? I don't know. But I tell you what, there was a really good comment there. Anthony Martial says, get Fred on and he'll change the game. Really good point there. 4-3-3, how is that wrong? Says, what are you looking at? And I'm telling, do you reckon Russia are a dark horse? No, Andrew Kidd, I don't. But I hope they do well, because it's good when a host as well. Come on, you Vikings, says Anthony Muller. I think what it comes down to is tactics. I do. I think the South Americans have still got great players. I look at Argentina last night, the abundance of quality that they've got, but the manager's clueless. I look at Brazil, and I think this manager is getting it wrong with the team selections. I look at Peru, and they're getting the wrong message in the final third. So I think that they have the quality still in South America. Yes, the gap is closing, but their tactics are a little bit backwards, and that mean that can cause big problems. And I think that with the right sort of management and tactics, then some of these South American teams could be doing a lot better than they are, because they just need to change it. They just need to change it up a bit. In the context of Brazil today, the midfield's wrong. Take Paulinho off or take Coutinho off and get a more box-to-box midfielder in there to assist defensively, but also provide something going forward. Take Jesus off and put Firmino as the central point with Neymar off to his left and Willian to his right. Maybe even take Willian off anyway and put Costa on. But they need to change things up. Brazil have got a good defence. They've got a good goalkeeper. They've got good centre-backs. Marcelo's good. Yes, they missed Dani Alves, but Brazil aren't going to concede many goals. But in their attack and their midfield, the balance just isn't right there at all. When you talk about Argentina, an abundance of attacking talent, a poor midfield, yeah, they don't have the midfielders they used to have, but Banega should have started that game, and that Mascherano's not been a midfielder for about 6 years. Uruguay should be doing better than what they are, because Uruguay have got the best centre-backs in the world in this World Cup with Jimenez and Godin, and they do fantastically well at Atletico Madrid. And, you know, if you can bring that into a national team, it's great, because you don't need to do a lot of work with them. They've got Suarez and Cavani, and they've got Bentancur in the midfield, who's a good midfielder as well. But it's not. But they're very lethargic. Peru, don't get me started on Peru. Very, very good team. Lots of passion, lots of pride. Clueless in the final third. I'm trying to think. Colombia, I just thought, you know, we might still see something good from Colombia, to be fair, but their ball distribution was terrible. So yeah, South American teams at the moment not doing well in this World Cup. Still time to turn it around, but one's gone already with Peru. Uruguay are going to go through, but I don't think they're going to go further than Spain or Portugal, depending on who they get. Argentina are hanging by a thread. Brazil, they're probably going to get through the group, but how far into this tournament are they going to go? And Colombia, a bit like Argentina, hanging by a thread. So South America not having a great tournament at the moment. I don't want Willian at United. I just hope and pray Bale might happen, says Darren Sweetman. He's not been good again today. Bring on Fred for the laughs, says Tony Adams. I thought Brazil would win it, starting to not have a clue who will now hope it's someone like Croatia and not one of the big guns grinding it out, says Jack Brown. I would love this. I'm enjoying this World Cup, but I would love it even more if we saw a number of these teams who've never won it before go right to the back end of this tournament. Still need to see Colombia with 11 men, says Marcus Barton, which is fair enough. They're in the last chance saloon though, aren't they? Because of that loss against Japan, they play Poland on Sunday night. They literally cannot afford not to win that game. They've got to win it. And no team is favourite in this tournament, says Mohammed. I still think Spain and Germany, whilst they're in the tournament, it's still the status quo who can win it. But if they get knocked out, it becomes wide open. The last 10 years, our South Americans have forgotten to develop their youth. As soon as they're 18, they get shipped off to Europe. Very good point from Jay Hart. Thanks for that. Who would you have back at United? I'm not going to answer United questions at the time at the moment. I reckon Belgium can do well, said AJX Comps. We'll be watching Belgium tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And we need Savic in our midfield, says NCP Mad Herd. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're doing World Cup watch-alongs for every single World Cup game. Lots of debate going on. Lots of great chat. Thanks everybody who's joined us again for this lunchtime game. 4 o'clock, it's Iceland versus Nigeria. Whoever wins that's got a great chance of going through to the knockout stage. And then tonight, the second game in this group, Serbia and Switzerland. Imagine this is a draw. Imagine Costa Rica get a draw out of this. This group is then wide open. Brazil would be on 2 points. Costa Rica would be on 1 point. And they will have played 2 games. Switzerland, Serbia tonight. Serbia have already got 3 points. Switzerland have got 1 point. Brazil are in trouble. Brazil have got to win this game. If Brazil don't win this game, they're not out. But they leave themselves in a situation where many of us felt Brazil were going to win this group and Serbia would get second place. Brazil don't turn this around the next 45 minutes. And this World Cup again takes another corner into Excitement Valley, because I think it has been on, sensational boulevard for about the first 5 days. Then we had boring Wednesday. Yesterday, and then we had Croatia. And then today we could have some really big results. Iceland-Nigeria, I think, is a massive game. Massive game at 4 o'clock. Serbia-Switzerland will be a big game, especially if this stays 0-0. But this next 45 minutes... Brazil at some point, you can be like France. You can be a bit a little bit mediocre, but you're getting the wins. Like Uruguay. Yeah, you've not been that great, but you've got 2 wins. But Brazil, you can't be not that great and not winning games. That's when it becomes a concern. So Brazil have got to win this in the second half. Ben Johnson says, I still see Brazil winning this game. And Marcelo is best player in the universe, says Palash. Maybe he can win it for them. Has any team ever won back-to-back World Cups, says Tony Adams. Unless it happened in the early days, I don't think so. England 66, Brazil 70. Was it Germany 74, Argentina 78, Italy 82, Argentina 86, Germany 90, Brazil 94, France 98, Brazil 2002, Italy 2006, Spain 2010, Germany 2014. So no, I don't. Unless it was in the early days, I don't think so. Brazil lack midfield drive, says Radmagon. Will the 3 a.m. watch-alongs be back for the tour on the United Stand, says Jack Brown? They will. They will. I don't know how many 3 a.m. games there are, though. I think there's some that are around midnight. But yeah, looking forward to that. I am wearing my glasses today because my eyes are a little bit tired. And obviously I've got quite a few streams to do. Uruguay won the first 2 World Cups back-to-back, says Mark Young. Yeah. Which South American player would you take the most at United, says Darryl Bell. Messi. Mark, Arsenal looking out for the Swedish number 4, says De Prat. Is that the lad who scored the goal, De Pirates? What was his name? I forget. Was it Groves? I can't remember his name. He looks about 90 anyway. That would be good. I thought they were getting old Socrates anyway. I believe today's tactics are not so strong. What do you say, says Guess for you 79. I think there's been a drop-off in the tactics in South America, and I think there's been a big improvement in the tactics. I mean, look at Iran the other night against Spain. Their players compared to the Spanish 11 are nowhere near it. It's a bit like a league conference side playing a Premier League side. But in Carlos Queiroz, they've got a good manager who organises them, and that's what's improved. This is why the lesser teams are getting better, because their coaching is better. They're getting good quality coaches done. I don't have a World Cup fantasy team, JME. No. Lack of midfield, says Anthony Martial. And even an underdog team can beat teams like Germany and Colombia, says Draven Chester. Brazil won it in 58 and 62, says Jay Hart. Mr. Travis Highrise says Uruguay did not win consecutive World Cups. Italy did it in 34 and 38. Uruguay won it in 30 and 50. So that's not consecutive. So Gobber Blouch has summarised it personally. He says, the only 2 teams to win back-to-back World Cups are Italy in 34 and 38, and Brazil did it in 58 and 62. There you go. Thanks everyone for that. Sean Fitzgerald says that Fred is faster than Kante, same height, and has a manager that could elevate him to Kante level. Interesting to see that. Fred can play in a number of positions. I'd love to see Fred coming on in the second half because Paulinho is rubbish. He really is rubbish. Pro at FIFA says he loves me. I'm a married man. Sorry, I'm already taken. But you're all fantastic anyway. We're having a great World Cup, aren't we? And remember, if you are new, subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner, please do subscribe. We're trying to get to 37,500 today. So subscribe if you're new. Keep spreading the word. If you know people who are watching the watch-alongs. If you know people who are watching the World Cup, tell them to get onto That's Football. Say it's great chat and debate. We've not had a VAR moment to have a meltdown in the live comments yet, but we might do. And I still think the best chance of the game falls to Borges. Perfect pullback, edge of the box. He passes it wide. Costa Rica can do another World Cup shock, says Salim. Douglas Costa's on for Willian, as predicted by a lot of people. That should give them a little bit more impetus. Willian hasn't been that good. Brazil are not out if they draw this game, but they put themselves in a difficult situation if they don't win it because they've got Serbia in their third game, which is the hardest game of the group. So they need to do a little bit better. Please do share the video if you're watching. Underneath the screen, there'll be a share button. If you're on Twitter and Facebook, just click share, click Twitter or Facebook, and it will share it automatically, which is great. If you can help grow the channel and the community, that'd be great. We've got 2 more games for you today after this where we'll be live with a watch along. Iceland, Nigeria at 4 o'clock. I'm neutral for that one. I like both teams. I'm gonna sit on the fence for Nigeria or Argentina. And then Serbia, Switzerland tonight. Luca, thanks for the contribution. He says this World Cup is better with That's Football. Well, the concept is a great one, isn't it? For those people who want to watch as many World Cup games as they can, it can get a little bit boring at times when you're watching a game and you're watching it on your own. Get yourself on That's Football. Get involved in the chat. The football's on. We're all watching it, and there's lots of chat and debate going on. Costa has come on, Lynn. He's come on for Willian. He's not been good in this tournament, has he? I wonder if fatigue comes into it. It was always something that used to get levelled against England. Because then again, Willian sat on the bench a lot for Chelsea this year, so it can't be fatigue. I don't get it. I don't get it why some of the better players are just not performing in this tournament. Timer has started. Sorry, I just haven't clicked the button there. There you go. We're a minute and 15 in. Thanks for reminding me, Kenneth. Yeah, let's see what Costa can do, Lynn. I still want to see... Well, to be honest with you, that's probably the third substitution that needed making. I would have took off... Jesus for Firmino. And Paulinho needs to come off as well. He's rubbish. Just lost the ball again there. Curtis15 says, look at those empty seats. They're not empty, Curtis. They're on the bloody gravy train somewhere. I don't think they're corporate, but the same thing happened for the Russia game. They all go and get a drink or something at half time, and it takes them ages to get back to the seats. It'll fill up. It'll fill up. There must be big queues for the toilet or something. Oh, good little link-up play from Brazil here. Oh, it would have been a goal. Oh, God, what are they doing, Costa Rica? This could be a goal. Oh, my life. Lucky. Foul given on Navas. They got into a right mess, Costa Rica, there. There was some nice little flicks. Defender knocked it back to Navas quite quickly. Had to get rid of it. Then a cross came in, and it ends up with Navas going down. Jesus tries to slip in Paulinho. Navas passes it to Coutinho, who crosses it in. It ends up at the feet of Neymar, but Navas grabs it in the 6-yard box, and Neymar follows through a little bit. Should be a yellow card, that, for Neymar. He had no reason to be. He should be booked, Darren Sweetman. I agree. He's got no reason to put his foot in on Navas there. Cretin. Bahani said, is Paulinho married to the coach's daughter? How is he in the starting 11? I know. Well, Brazil have started off a little bit better. They've got to win this game. They've got to win this. Here is Paulinho. I think they play him just because he's a bit tall, isn't he? I mean, if you take Paulinho off, Fred's only 5'6". Goal! Bar! Jesus hits the bar from across. Here we go. Oh, how does that not go in from Coutinho? Paulinho did well, actually. Lays it back to Coutinho. And I don't know whether it's a save or not, but we're having quick free kicks now. Brazil. Coutinho into the box. Neymar can't get the shot away. And Costa Rica hanging on here. They're hanging on here. We had two shots. A header onto the bar from Jesus. And then I think it was Coutinho on the edge of the box. I want to see that back again. I don't know whether it's a block or a brilliant save from Navas. But Brazil have suddenly gone up a gear now. And Costa Rica are a bit like a punch. They've been punched a few times around their head. They're rocking, but they're hanging on. And it's still 0-0. But Brazil are now playing like Brazil. We're seeing a bit of Brazil now. Darren says they've woken up. Salim says they're stepping it up. What do they have to do to score, says Luca. But we're seeing a definite better Brazil now. This is better. Let's see if they can keep it up for longer than a few minutes. Another corner. And they'll clear. Come on, show us them chances again. Costa Rica hanging on, says Pankaj. Another corner here. I don't suppose they can show us those chances while this is happening. Manan says he thinks Marcelo's going to score. Well, Brazil have got Costa Rica on the ropes here at the moment, and another corner, Costa to take it. Costa obviously coming on at half-time for Willian. But they're moving the ball quicker. That's what Brazil are doing. They're not taking that extra touch. Cross comes in. Cleared. Jack Lundmark says 40 minutes left. I don't think Costa Rica can hold on. I think Costa Rica just need to get through the next few minutes and slow the game down a bit. If Brazil keep this tempo up, that'll become a problem. Come on, Brazils. This and the United Stand are the best football YouTube channel, says Curtis. Thanks, Curtis. Fred to come on and score the winner, says Ed Woodward. And Brazil have now given the ball away. And they've got a throw in. Come on, show us them chances again. We are 38 subscribers away from 37,500. So if you're new, please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. If you love the World Cup or you just want to tune in for some World Cup games and get involved in the chat rather than be sat on your own or sat with somebody who doesn't really know a lot about football, tune in and get involved with a load of people who are passionate and love football. So get involved on That's Football. Everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter who you support. I saw a comment a minute ago from a United fan saying, I can't believe I'm praying for a Liverpool player to come on the pitch. I know who he's talking about, Firmino. They do need Firmino on, but they have started this second half a lot better. They're trying to be quicker. Apadou says, hey Mark. Hey everyone. Hey Apadou. Anvish, I don't know how much these glasses cost. They're not designer. They are needed for to keep my eyes a little bit rested today because they feel very tired this week. Ed Woodward says That's Football is the place to get involved in the World Cup. Oh, here we go. Brazil have got an overlap here. Neymar. He's held on to that for too long. It should have gone to Marcelo a lot quicker, and then the cross has gone out for a goal kick. They've gone a bit slower there. The first 5 minutes of this half, everything was a lot quicker. Neymar there, too many touches. Thanks, Jazzy Now. He shared the video. You can share the video below the video. There's a share button. If you're on Twitter and Facebook, please do share the link. Let's grow the That's Football community over the World Cup. And we've not had our big debate point. There's normally a big debate point during a watch-along. Lots of good chat, but we've not had a big debate point yet, have we? VAR normally... there we go. That was the shot. It's going in. It's not Navas. It's not Navas, the keeper, who saves it. It hits the defender's leg. And it's Jesus on both of them. That should have been 1-0. Substitution for Costa Rica. Good time to make a substitution. Just slow the game down a little bit. Slow the momentum down. Unknown Man says, I'd love to see Fred, but this is disappointing with the quality Brazil has. They should be far ahead. Their team nowadays is more about individual quality than team play. Wing, well, she's at work, isn't she? So she's got no say on it. Always share it for every watch along, says John Massey. Do you think Sarri from Napoli will be a success? What do you think about the appointment? Have they officially announced it yet? I'm a little bit out of the loop because once the football starts, no, it's not official yet. So it's the game slowed down a little bit now. It's still all Brazil. I'd like to see a little bit more from Croatia on the attack. They're not Iran. You know, they don't need to park the bus. For those who don't remember, they were in a group with England and Uruguay and Italy in 2014, and they got out the group. And England and Italy went home. So they can do something on the break. There's an interesting thing here on Twitter I'm just reading from @Mark_Champons. And he's saying that it worries me how Fred might not actually be that good. Oh, what a save by Navas from Neymar. Paulinho with the cutback to Neymar on the 6-yard box. And Navas saves it. An amazing save. Absolutely amazing save. I'd look to see that back again. I mean, Neymar probably should score it. He's going to take the corner. It's a crap corner. But he should have scored that. I mean, it's a great save, but I think how much of the goal he's got to aim at, why is it so high? You've got to feel Brazil's goal's coming at some point. Costa Rica need to respond. Neymar with this corner. Oh, they're just quicker to everything at the moment, Brazil. That's Marcelo. Oh, God, who was that? They've got a break on here. Costa Rica, can we see something for you on the break? Oh, what are you doing? Again, how many times have we seen this through the World Cup? The lesser team, they do really, really well. When they get into the final third, they get a nosebleed and screw it up. It's getting split. The game's getting spread a bit now, though. This is Brazil now on the attack. Costa, cut back. Straight at Navas, saved. Well, in this first 10 minutes of the half, Coutinho, Brazil could have had 2 or 3. They could have had 2 or 3 goals. But it's end-to-end stuff. My concern about Brazil is, though, if and when they get their goal, will they do what they did against Switzerland and just sit back? Prince R9, Brazil are stepping it up. They definitely are. Free kick to Costa Rica. Ryan1504 says Brazil are all over them. They are. They're like a fat kid on cake at the moment. They just can't eat it. That was Coutinho straight at him. I want to see the Neymar chance. We haven't seen the Neymar chance. They haven't shown us the Neymar chance. That's rubbish. This number 7's been a bit wasteful for Costa Rica. He's got a headband on. Well, he's won him a corner, though. That's a chance. Who is it? Bolanas. He's played 3 World Cups, he has. Corner for Costa Rica. Oh, don't know what's going on there. I'm just looking at the Costa Rican team. Joel Campbell, obviously Real Betis, used to be at Arsenal. Brian Ruiz, Sporting Lisbon. We've got a few players playing in the MLS. Christian Gamboa at Celtic. Brian Oviedo at Sunderland. Unlucky. And obviously their best players, Keylor Navas. Rubbish corner. You've got to do something with your corner when you get that. I'll come back to it, Prince Fresh. Good cross. That was a good cross. Ooh, a bit ping pong there, but Brazil have cleared it. And what a fortuitous clearance, because it's fell to Neymar in a 2. Well, he's on his own. Oh, Costa can't get it under control, otherwise he would have been 1-on-1. Just not falling for Brazil quite at the moment. I thought Costa was going to shoot there. Here we go. Jesus, all the flicks. I'll talk about that Fred thing in a minute when we get a moment, because at the moment it's end-to-end stuff. 15 minutes has flown by in this second half. Neymar, good tackle. Rubbish. Yeah, what I was saying about Fred is, well, it wasn't what I said. I just read it on Twitter. Somebody was saying on Twitter that it's worrying. It might be worrying that Fred can't get in this Brazil midfield when it's so crap. Well, you know, Dybala can't get in the Argentina team. It might just be a bad coach. Marvin says that Paulinho's actually been Brazil's best player. I think he gets picked because he's big. I really do think that's it. I think it's because he's tall he gets picked. Because most Brazilian attackers aren't that tall. Jack Brown's got a good point then. Well, if you got that theory about Fred, Liverpool should be very worried about Fabinho because he can't even get in the team. Mark Stewart, Icardi, yeah. Can't get any quality in the final third, Costa Rica, but 62 minutes gone. Vishnu says that Paulinho is a physical option for Brazil. They just don't use him very well. AJ Comp says Fernandinho is better than Paulinho. I suppose Fernandinho's a little bit defensive though, isn't he? And you've already got Casemiro. I can understand that one. Neymar shoots, Navas spills, but gets up and gets it. Stuart Collins, I'm not even going to answer that. We don't know how fit Fred is, says Lynn Hall. Well, he's not a starter for Brazil anyway, Lynn. He isn't. Even if he's fit, he's not. He's a squad player. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're only 21 subscribers away from 37,500. We're doing watch-alongs for every single World Cup game. So if you are watching World Cup games and you want to get involved in the chat and, you know, when it goes a little bit quiet, get involved on That's Football. Building a really good community here. Everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter who you support, where you're living. Everybody's welcome on here. It's not the United Stand. Although we get a lot of non-United fans on the United Stand, to be fair. Although they normally get... They normally get fed up. They think Fred has 17 assists in 7 years, so we need a number 10, says DJ Dale B. I mean, Stuart says that Brazil are going to finish second in the group. I think they need to win, Stuart. Obviously, if they draw, they've still got a chance of going through, but their third game is their tougher game. You can't, you know, if they draw against Switzerland and Costa Rica, they would be the perceived easier games. Their third game is against Serbia. And if Serbia draw with Switzerland tonight, then they ain't going to give Brazil an easy win, are they? So Brazil need to win this. Free kick, high foot. Paulinho. He was terrible at Spurs, wasn't he? Come on, Brazil, says Sohel. Well, Brazil have done enough to win this game, I think, but they just haven't put the ball in the back of the net. Costa Rica have not been good second half. Harry Phelan, who's been my man of the match so far? I'd probably say one of the Costa Rican defenders. Let me just check. Number 3, whoever that is. Gonzalez, number 3. One of the central defenders for Costa Rica. I think he's done well. Won a lot of things in the air. At the moment, I mean, it could become a Brazilian because Brazil have played well this second half. If they can get a goal, it could change. The referee says Anvesh. Is Federer playing tennis, Gobber? Unknown man says, imagine Brazil going against Germany. I still think they might. They could still avoid each other though, because if Germany comes second in the group and Brazil comes second in their group, then they don't play each other. It would just be they avoid each other by being second when everyone thought they'd both be first. Maybe they're doing it on purpose. Good chance for Costa Rica there. Bit of head tennis. Offside. Firmino's coming on anyway. Well, I can't for 1 minute think that we're going to get our first 0-0 in a Brazil game. Well, it's Paulinho's coming off for Firmino. Oh. Bloody hell. Makes them more attacking, I suppose. Paulinho off. Firmino on. More attacking from Brazil. Brazil need to win though, don't they? That's why they've gone more attacking, to be fair. I don't think Fred will come on pro at FIFA. They've used 2 subs now. Here we go. Firmino. No. Good tackle. It wasn't. It was Neymar, actually, into the box. Good tackle. Is Wimbledon starting a little bit late this year? July the 2nd. I think sometimes when the World Cup... I'm sure it normally starts middle of June, but... Corner. Cleared. There's an injury to a Costa Rican here. Ref, you should stop that. He's gone. He's clearly hurt himself. Come on, ref. He clearly hurt himself. Why have you not blown up? $16 subscribers away from 37,500. Remember, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. Get involved in this World Cup community on That's Football. Every single game we're live. So live comments, live chat, live debate. You're all welcome. Cross from Brazil. Header straight at Navas from Silva. 20 minutes to go. You get the feeling Brazil are going to score at some point. I think they deserve a goal, don't they? They've done everything but score in some ways. South American teams disappointing, says Singy. You're not the first. Could be the first 0-0, says Darren. I don't think it will. I think we'll get a goal, Darren. Sukesh just said the same thing straight after you. Again, though, with Costa Rica, What is annoying me a little bit about this tournament is, yeah, you've got the favourites and they're not doing that well, like Brazil today. And you've got the opposition who are working really hard, defensively well organised, la la la. But then in the final third, they've got absolutely no quality. But having said that, Brazil defensively are good. A little bit of possession for Costa Rica here. And Brazil will clear it. Yeah, they just don't have any quality in the final third, these teams, do they? Here's Neymar. Oh, here we go. You have to chop him. Oh, I thought he'd put that in, Neymar, then. Bit of a mistake. Gets Neymar away into his stride as he approaches the edge of the box. He's got the curl on it, and you think Navas is beaten. You're going to see that net ripple, and you don't see the net ripple. It must go wide. Big chance that for Neymar. What is he doing, says Kwesi Brown. Defensive mix-up for Costa Rica. Neymar's there, striding through. Oh, he's not far off, though. The technique is very, very good. He's not far off, to be fair. And it certainly wasn't a sitter. It's like your signature move, really. It's like a finesse finish in FIFA. He's got the curl on it, but not enough. People say bad miss. We're 6 subscribers away from 37,500. Whilst we're in a little bit of a break in the play here, I'll do a little bit of a plug. Remember, every single game we're doing a World Cup watch along, so get involved with the chat. Thanks everyone who has today. Please drop a like on the video and share it, and keep getting involved and spread the word. Anyway, 20 minutes or less left in this game for Brazil to get a winner, which they need. If Brazil draw this, Argentina are getting a lot of stick, but Brazil, all right, they haven't lost the game, but they'd leave themselves in a bit of a precarious position. They need to win. You can see Serbia topping this group because they're not. Serbia beat Costa Rica 1-0. Brazil, if they do win, they're not going to. I don't think they're going to thrash Costa Rica, are they? So they're not going to boost their goal difference, and I think Serbia might beat Switzerland tonight. Lynn Hall, Brazil need to win it. They do. They do. They're not going home if they don't. They can still go through, but they put themselves in a dodgy position with Switzerland still having Costa Rica to play. "48 teams in the next World Cup," says Akash. Well, I don't think we'll be doing watch-alongs for all of that. Can you imagine some of the crap? It's a shame they're going up to 48, actually, because 32 used to have quite a lot of rubbish teams in it. We finally get to a World Cup where the gap's closed down between 32 teams, then we're going to knock it up to 48 again and widen the gap. Makes no sense. Well, it does make sense, because it's all about the money, money. Costa, little chip to Neymar. He's going to go for that shot again. Corner. Roman Reigns thinks Germany would win this comfortably. Well, Germany's tomorrow night against Sweden. And again, very similar to, well, worse to Brazil, because Germany haven't got any points yet. Germany, Sweden tomorrow night. If Germany don't win that, they're in trouble. Oh, lovely ball. No. Get up, Neymar. Get up, Neymar, says the ref. Fred's not coming on, says Anthony Martial. No. Apple J-Lo says big teams are disappointing this year. Well, Brazil have got 15 minutes to get their World Cup going. They're not going out of the World Cup if they draw it, but they bloody don't. They can't. They need to win it. Imagine if Costa Rica go on break and score. They'll be going home. Neymar, Coutinho, Navas. Fion's on about Brazil, Germany last 16. I think there's less chance of that happening now. Because Brazil look like they're not going to win their group. If Mexico win all their games, Germany won't win their group. So Brazil and Germany will be second in their group at best. And they'll avoid each other. So you'll still see Serbia, Germany and Brazil, Mexico. I'll tell you what though, no South American team has won in Europe since 1958, the World Cup. Here we go, this could be a goal. They've got a good opportunity here. Firmino, little back, Neymar. Penalty. Penalty. Costa Ricans are saying he dived. It looked like a penalty to me. It looked like a penalty to me. It's exaggerated, but I can't be a hypocrite. It's so soft. It is a soft penalty, but it's the same as leaving your foot in, isn't it? If you leave your foot in, it's a penalty. There is contact there. He's going to VAR it, but that's a penalty for me. It's great. We always get a debate point on That's Football, don't we? It's very harsh on Costa Rica, but that is a penalty because the contact's there. Neymar definitely exaggerates on it, but it's a penalty. No penalty, no foul. Well, Lynn Hall says it. So exaggerated that it's not a penalty. Well, fair play to the referee. I said it was exaggerated. Has VAR just redeemed itself in people's eyes because it was a bit exaggerated by Neymar. At the end of the day, though, there is the contact there. It's like leaving your foot in, isn't it? So it's always fair play to the referee. He's made his mind up with the advantage of hindsight and gone back and looked at it. But I don't know. Get involved in the live comments. We'll start talking about that one now. See what people are saying. Book Neymar, says William NG. Yeah, probably should have been booked, to be honest. Unknown Man says no penalty, especially when it's Neymar. They teach him how to fall like this. That was never a penalty. See, VAR can do good things for little teams, says Baron Death. Yeah, Neymar's had a yellow card now. And Coutinho. Well, they've been in the ear of the referee all game, Neymar and Coutinho. There's always a contact in a tackle, but doesn't mean it's a penalty, says Denzel Silva. I think what the referee did there was brilliant because it's a very, very soft penalty to give. But I always think if you make contact with somebody in the penalty box, you do leave yourself wide open. And what happened there is Neymar cuts back. The defender's got his hand on him. It's not deliberate. And Neymar dives after the contact. But you can see how a referee would give it. But when he's gone back and looked at it, he's felt, no, that contact's fine. It's an exaggeration. It's no penalty. So it's getting heated to Salim. I think that's the first example of VAR to me where it's like that works because it's like it stopped a penalty. It's going to be a yellow card here in a minute. It's getting very heated. You feel a Brazil goal is going to come because Costa Rica just need to get their heads here. They've had the justice. They've had justice. Calm it down. Let Brazil get heated. 10 minutes to go. To be honest, why should Neymar's be a penalty when Harry Kane's wasn't? Exactly. Entertaining last 10 minutes anyway, Akiri, it is. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I mean, when you watch it back, I can see why the referee gave the penalty. But number 3, who's been my man of the match today, he sort of grabs the shirt and then it's like he's going to grip, but then he doesn't grip. But Neymar feels like, oh, he's gripped me. And goes like he's been shot. Take the L, Neymar, says Kieran Brook. Mild foul, limited contact. Neymar exaggerated and dived and probably convinced the ref to change his mind. Technically got right, but justice. Technically not right, but justice done, says Simon Little. Well, at the end of the day, was there enough contact for Neymar to go down? No. If he doesn't go down, he's beat the man. Why didn't he play on? You know, he didn't lose control of the ball. He'd actually beaten the man. What happened is, in his mind, I've beat the man. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there. I'll go down. He didn't need to go down. Carl Davis says that is never a penalty. Neymar, the absolute diver. What other games are on today, says Sam Howes. So we've got Nigeria-Iceland at 4 o'clock. Massive game for either of them. If they can win that, that's Argentina's group. It puts them in a really strong place for second place. And then Serbia-Switzerland, the second game in this game, which is going to be a good game anyway. But if this stays like this, that's going to be a cracking game. But let's see what happens. I still think there's another twist in this game. I just feel there's a goal for Brazil in this. Andrew Kidd doesn't. He thinks it's going to be 0-0. I don't think Costa Rica can win it. Here's Costa. He's definitely been an improvement on Willian. They've got overlaps here, Brazil. Cross comes in. Heroic defending again. Neymar on the edge. And Costa Rica clear. Yep, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Every single World Cup game is a watch along. We've got nearly 1,000 people watching, which is fantastic. So all the drama, this is where you want to be on That's Football. If you're watching World Cup games at home, get That's Football on YouTube, because any of the big debate points like the penalty there and just general chit-chat, it's on. Straight Coutinho shoot straight into Keylor Navas's arms. It's about 5 minutes of normal time left, and then whatever the ref adds on. I still think there's going to be a couple more chances in this, at least for Brazil. Costa Rica look dead on their feet. And they're making mistakes. Active Dan says Douglas Costa's done well. Yeah, he didn't do well there. Costa Rica just can't retain the ball at the moment. And Navas gets hold of it. This is the most entertaining 0-0 game I've ever seen, says Keita and Fabinho apologist. I don't think it's going to stay 0-0 for some reason. Yes, so Serbia-Switzerland tonight at 7 o'clock UK time, which is the second game in this group. And then before that at 4 o'clock, we've got not Argentina, they don't want to play again. Nigeria-Iceland, which is... I'm undecided. I'm so neutral in that game. I just hope whoever wins it, I hope goes on to go second in the group, because I don't want Argentina going through now. I think they've had their chance. So, of course, they could draw. Brazil come again. Costa. I feel a Brazil goal. Oh, good shot from Thiago Silva from the edge of the box, straight at Keylor Navas. No, it wasn't Silva. It was Casemiro. Getting my numbers mixed up. Well, I don't think Fred's coming on now, Ed. Oh. 2 players down now. Don't think the ref saw that with Marcelo. Neymar's losing his temper. Marcelo shoved out a little. I don't think anything's going to happen with that. Anthony Martial says that Brazil, if they draw this, will have to beat Serbia to finish second place. Neymar's got holes in his socks. I don't know whether that's part of the fashion or he's just had a couple of tackles. Neymar's sulking. Going to be 6 minutes injury time, says TS. I think there will be, I think there will be, mate. Good punch there by Navas. Brazil are getting very frustrated here. Another player goes down. Navas came out and punched the cross and took an impact afterwards, but I think so many Costa Ricans are going down now that it's the ref just doesn't know. Oh, to be fair to him, he probably did hurt himself. He punched the ball and then connected with his chin on Thiago Silva. It's Casemiro who will keep getting mixed up. Brazil on the attack, edge of the box, little ball over the top. Defence, well, take your time, get rid of it, Costa Rica. They do. And I reckon there'll be 5 or 6 minutes as well. He's given a free kick. 6 minutes, yeah. 6 minutes added on. So Brazil can't complain. 6 minutes is probably about fair, isn't it? There's surely going to be a chance for Brazil. Cross comes in. Firmino gets down. That'll be it. Coutinho wins it for Brazil. Downward header from Firmino. And it just falls into the path of Coutinho on the 6-yard box. And Brazil have got their winner, which they will feel massively relieved. I think they do deserve it as well. I'm not going to say that they don't. I feel sorry for Costa Rica, of course I do, but Brazil have had the better chances in this game. Costa Rica have done absolutely nothing as an attacking team. And as I've said a few times, Costa Rica are not Iran. They're not Iran. So they should have done a little bit more as an attacking sense. So Coutinho's got 2 in the tournament now. Andrew Rossi says Brazil don't deserve it. Well, it's Firmino's header down. And I think Jesus takes the sting out of it to lay it off, and Coutinho just comes in and pods it home. Interesting how it's a goal that's got nothing to do with Neymar. Through the legs of the keeper. So Brazil, at last, have a goal. Ed Woodward said he knew it was coming. I think we all knew it was coming. They were going to get a chance in the last 6 minutes, and they've taken it. But if Serbia win tonight, it's going to be a very interesting game between Brazil and Serbia, isn't it? So who's going to top this group? Fernandinho comes on for Jesus. To shut up shop a little bit. Marcus Barton says the tournament's better with Brazil in it anyway, whether you like them or not. Yeah, I wouldn't want Brazil to go out in the group stage. I think the good thing about it is that Brazil are very much beatable. I thought that was a foul for Costa Rica on the edge of the box there. Brazil will probably get a second here. Because they're going to have to go for it, Costa Rica. We've still got 3 minutes. The thing is, they've had 90 to do something. Neymar into the box, tackled. Brazil just need to keep the ball here. I know they'd like to get a second goal, but personally I'd probably put more emphasis on just keeping the ball. Thanks for everyone who's got involved in the stream. We've got no 0-0 again as well. No 0-0 in this World Cup. This World Cup is resisting the 0-0s. It will not have it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brazil get a second here. Oh, what a miss by Firmino. Good little bit of interchange. Hits it over the bar. Yeah, thanks everyone who's been watching. Really enjoyed it again. We always get our debate point, don't we, with the penalty? And I think the referee did really, really well with that, actually, because Neymar clearly did take a little tumble. Look, all those seats on the far side, they're full now. Straight after half time, they weren't. I told you, they're all in the toilet or something. Argentina, sorry, I keep saying Argentina. Iceland, Nigeria at 4 o'clock. And then the second game in this group tonight at 7 o'clock. Serbia versus Switzerland, which, if Serbia can win that, or, well, no, if Switzerland win it, that makes it very, very interesting, because Switzerland would have 4 points like Brazil, and Serbia would have 3 with a game against Brazil to come. So, very interesting game that's going to be. And Switzerland are no mugs, so that's going to be an interesting game. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We're doing every game as a World Cup watch along, and we've had some great debates and chat and points so far. And we've not had a 0-0 yet either, which is great. Brazil are just keeping the ball. Costa Rica just have nothing left in them to even try and get a goal. It's a training ground exercise now for Brazil to keep the ball. Marcelo into the box. And Costa Rica have given a corner away. And we're into the 95th minute. For a team that needs a goal, they've done absolutely nothing, Costa Rica. Let's go Iceland, says Tyler Morgul. Xander's got to go to work. Enjoy it, pal, if you can. Which games are you doing, Mark? So Sanders doing Iceland, Nigeria, which I think is going to be probably the game of the day, because how do you pick a winner in that? And I'd take Neymar out for that. If he tried to do that little flick against me, he'd be getting 2 foots. I'll be amazed if Roy Keane doesn't say that in the aftermatch. I would have given Neymar a 2-footed tackle for that if he did that flick on me. That's cocky, that is, from Neymar. You don't do that on a professional football pitch. He's a prick. Absolute prick for doing that. It's prick-esque to do that. You wouldn't get Messi or Ronaldo doing that because they're the best players in the world. And you don't need to do little flicks like that. If you can do that, great. Go and do it on a beach. Freestyle. Don't do it on a football pitch. It just mugs somebody off in front of millions of people. Have some respect. Yes, I'm doing Serbia, Switzerland at 7 o'clock anyway. And Neymar scores to make it 2-0 as well. Doesn't even deserve the goal. Doesn't even deserve that. 2-0 to Brazil. I don't want Brazil to win this tournament, to be honest, simply because of Neymar. I think what he's done in that game epitomised. I thought he'd grown up a little bit. He's just a cretin of a man, an absolute cretin. I cannot stand him. What he's just done with that flick and the way he behaves on the pitch is not enough. Hey, Luca, why am I sitting down about Neymar? I never said anything about Neymar. I've not said Neymar is going to do a Messi. Look on Twitter, lots of people have said that. I've not said Neymar's done a Messi. What I've said throughout this game is that Neymar actually does care about playing for Brazil. I mean, he's crying on the pitch now. Do a video like Griezmann. Unbelievable. Anyway, 2-0 to Brazil. They did deserve it, and they actually put themselves in a decent situation now, because unless Serbia beat Switzerland, Serbia only beat Costa Rica 1-0. So Brazil, with that second goal, have put themselves into a bit of a decent situation. Hey, it's all about opinion, everybody. If you like Neymar, that's up to you. That's absolutely fine. Of course it is. I just think he's a sad individual. He never plays when his sister's birthday as well. He always gets injured. He's very, very close to his sister. But he's a weirdo. He's a weirdo, that bloke, and that flick doesn't belong on a football pitch, not at all. And he doesn't come across as a likable person to me. But the tournament does need Brazil, and Brazil deserve to win that game. And the thing is, the goal that was scored didn't have anything to do with Neymar, did it? It was Firmino's knockdown. It was Jesus who controlled it, and it was Coutinho who put it in. So maybe Brazil struggle a little bit because of that, a bit like Argentina do with Messi. But they thoroughly deserve the win. Well done to Brazil. Argentina, Iceland coming up at 4 o'clock. We're live in an hour for that. Get involved with that. And subscribe if you're new. And 7 o'clock tonight is Serbia versus Switzerland, which I'm really looking forward to. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you later.